Well, but Patty has a huge tree there, and we haven't seen Jennifer's, but we hear hers is humongous.
Really? Yes, Patty's is huge. Woo!
I love these backgrounds.
All right, we are live. I want to make sure that we're recording. Hang on one second.
Okay.
Yep, it's recording. Okay, we're ready to go.
Okay. Okay, Carrie, do you want to do roll call?
Absolutely. Martin Cazada?
Here.
Jose Arenas?
Here.
Hilda Ortega Rosales?
Here.
Jet White?
Here.
Susan Sarin?
Here.
Alan Martinez?
Here.
Addison Jackson? Oh, she's coming back. Okay. And Jaden Tews.
Yeah.
There being 5 members, there is a quorum.
I'll call the regular board meeting of the Pendergast School Board to order. As a reminder, please mute your microphones when others are speaking and unmute when it's your turn. This will help with any background noise. And welcome to everyone joining us on Facebook tonight. Thank you for joining us. Effective immediately and until further notice, the Pendergast School District Governing Board will be enforcing the Center for Disease Control guidance to limit all public gatherings to 10 people. As such, this meeting will be held telephonically with no public in-person attendance. There will be no call to the public, and this is referenced by Arizona Attorney General's opinion dated March 13th, 2020 concerning Arizona open meeting law and COVID-19. Again, thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Before we begin the regular agenda, I would like to request a moment of silence for all those families that have lost a loved one to COVID. And this past week, we've also lost a student as well as a husband of one of our teachers. So please, a moment of silence. Thank you very much. Our thoughts and prayers go out to all of our families. First on the agenda, can I have a motion to adopt the agenda as presented?
So move.
Mr. Arenas made a motion. I'll second that motion. Any discussion? Carrie, roll call.
Martin Cazada?
Yes.
Jose Arenas? Jose?
Yes.
Hilda Ortega Rosales?
Yes.
Jet White?
Yes.
Susan Sarin?
Yes.
There being 5 in favor, the motion carries.
And next we have our wonderful student board members, and they're going to give their reports. Dr. DeBlue, do you want to introduce them? Dr. DeBlue, you're on mute.
That was a test. So, Madam President, members of the board, cabinet, students, and members of the community, welcome. It's great to have you here for our board meeting today. And it's my honor and privilege to introduce our 3 student board members. We're going to start with Alan Martinez from Amberlea, representing the communities of Amberlea, Desert Horizon, Pendergast, and Westwind. Alan, take it away.
Good evening, Madam President, esteemed board members, Dr. DeBlue, and members of the audience. I am Alan Martinez. I'm from Amberlea School, representing the communities of Desert Horizon, Pendergast, Westwind, and Amberlea. These next few highlights will be from Amberlea. Title I night was a success. We saw a lot of smiling faces. Amberlea 8th grade students worked with West Point counselors to register for high school electives. Amberlea Neighborhood Light Parade will be December 17th at 6 p.m. These next few highlights will be from Desert Horizon. Desert Horizon Winter Wonderland Drive-Thru. And this Friday from 9 to 11 a.m. Please join us. Santa will be there too. The Desert Horizon Excelling Eagle Educator for November was Mr. Liba, 5th grade teacher. Congrats for all your hard work. Jody Daly, 5th grade teacher at Desert Horizon, was awarded the Wishes for Teachers grant through the Fiesta Bowl charities. Congrats. Pendergast, these next few highlights will be from Pendergast. Pendergast is wrapping up winter benchmark testing this week. Pendergast Staff Community Winter Parade is this Wednesday beginning at 1 p.m. Please join us. Santa visits the K through 3rd students at Pendergast this Thursday with a drive-through Safe Santa meet and greet. Happy holidays! These next few highlights will be from Westwind. The Westwind Winter Wonderland drive-through is December 17th at 5:30 p.m. Santa will be there. Westwind's winter benchmark testing went well. Over 95% of all students tested. Westwind's K through 2nd loves the Cap Hit phonics program. That is
Okay, Alan, thank you for all that great information. I can't believe you just said you're registering for high school already. Where does the time go? And congratulations to all those teachers you just mentioned. Good job. And now serving the schools of Canyon Breeze, Copper King, Garden Lakes, and Rio Vista, Addison Jackson from Garden Lakes. Take it away, Addison.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, Madam President, esteemed board members, Dr. DeBlue, and members of the audience. I am Addison Jackson. I am from Garden Lakes, representing the community of Canyon Breeze, Copper King, Garden Lakes, and Rio Vista. For one of the many schools I have to present to you tonight, I'm starting off with Canyon Breeze. Canyon Breeze had Title I night and coffee with the principal. They raffled 3 pre-made dinners and student prizes. Canyon Breeze also had a holiday staff drive-through with lights, food, treats. They will have actually on the 18th of December. West Point teachers and counselors visited our 8th graders to start the registration process. That is all for Canyon Breeze, and I'm now moving on to Copper King. Copper King had Title I night take place on December 3rd with 128 parents in attendance. We raffled 9 large gift baskets to the participants. Canyon Breeze also had a neighborhood holiday parade. Will have a neighborhood holiday parade on December 18th. Students will receive treats and staff will receive goodie packages. The Copper King, did I say Canyon Breeze? I'm so sorry if I said Canyon Breeze. The Copper King staff adopted 8 of our families and provided each one with a turkey and ham and all the fixings. That is all for Copper King, and now I'm moving on to Garden Lakes. Garden Lakes had Title I and coffee with the principal that took place in December. Garden Lakes also had a staff holiday drive-through parade with students with a treat and craft project from Santa. The staff will get a drive-through meal and gift from PTA before the community festivities. Garden Lakes completed all their illumination testing and fast bridge testing. That is all for Garden Lakes, and now moving on to our last school highlight. Rio Vista. Rio Vista, we are holding our annual winter sing-along in a virtual style this year to keep our traditions alive. Rio Vista 8th graders have begun high school registration with West Point. Rio Vista also celebrated with our staff with a picnic lunch drive-through. It was a nice time to connect quickly and thank them for their hard work this quarter. That is all for my school highlights, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Addison. Great job. Love all that super information. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Jaden Hughes, who's representing the communities of Desert Mirage, Sonoran Sky, Sunset Ridge, and Villa de Paz. Jaden, you're on.
Thank you. And good evening, Madam President, esteemed board members, Dr. DeBlue, and members of the audience. I'm Jaden, and I'm from Desert Mirage School, representing the community of Desert Mirage, Sonoran Sky, Sunset Ridge, and Villa de Paz. The highlights from these schools are, for Desert Mirage staff will celebrate our community on December 16th, starting at 1 p.m. with our staff parade throughout our school neighborhood. So that's tomorrow. And a shout out to Desert Mirage staff and students for doing a great job of administering and completing their fall benchmark assessments. The entire staff of Desert Mirage, with our esteemed and supportive governing board, Dr. DeBlue, cabinet, and school community, a safe and happy holiday. That was all for Desert Mirage. Now on to Sonoran Sky. As we complete the fourth semester, Sonoran Sky is awarding fourth semester attendance along with student achievement awards. And during this final week before winter break, show our appreciation for Sonoran Sky teachers, they will receive a yummy box of desserts. Evidence of true teacher collaboration with the submission of the weekly Sonoran Sky Google Classroom placement form. That was all for Sonoran Sky. On to Sunset Ridge. Sunset Ridge staff will be parading through the neighborhood this Wednesday to spread some holiday cheer to our community. Again, tomorrow. And this week is Spirit Week at Sunset Ridge. Our kids and staff are having a blast with these winter-themed Spirit Days. Sunset Ridge would like to wish our amazing governing board, superintendent, cabinet, and school community a very happy and very merry holiday this season. That was it for Sunset Ridge, and finally on to Villa de Paz. Villa de Paz has completed the setup and teaching training for the PBIS pilot program, scheduled for January. Villa de Paz conducted their Title I meeting on December 16th of 2020. Our team looks forward to engaging and planning with our community stakeholders. Villa de Paz will be hosting a staff holiday treat drive-through for all of our students on Thursday, December 17th from 3:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. So if anyone wants something, I suggest just go there. Thank you, and that's it.
Thank you, Jaden. I appreciate it. You know, you're making me hungry with all these drive-throughs and treats and yummy boxes. We're all going to have to drive through. Thank you to the three of you. You are amazing. I'm so proud of you. We appreciate your report, Madam President.
Thank you. Again, Jaden, Alan, and Addison, thank you so much for your reports. Great job. And next we have the superintendent and Governing Board updates or summary of current events. Dr. DeBlue, do you want to start it off?
Yes, Madam President, members of the board, cabinet, and members of the community. Thank you for the opportunity to speak again. I just want to congratulate these amazing students because just when you have a long day of information that's not so great and more people getting COVID, we get to see these three amazing smiling faces give us great information. So thank you guys. And tomorrow night, we're taking the 8th grade superintendent council and some of the board members to the light show in Glendale. No worries, they're going in each of their family cars with their immediate family. We'll be wearing masks and social distancing, but we can all hike as we go in there together. So I'm looking forward to seeing you from a distance, and happy holidays to everyone. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you so much, Dr. DeBlue. Senator Quesada?
Yeah, thank you, Madam President. I don't have much today. I just want to thank everyone again for a great retreat that we had over the weekend. It was really helpful for all that wonderful information. One thing that we forgot to talk about at the retreat is I want to thank Dr. DeBlue for always continuing to educate us and giving us reading material to help us grow as professionals. So she got us this book, and my board members, I've had a chance to read this book already, but I loaned it out and that person never gave it back. So I'm always glad to replace it. But it's a fantastic book. So I urge you all to read that, and hopefully we can have some discussions about it. But it's a very, very good book, and it's an easy read. So thank you again, Dr. Blue. Thanks.
Thank you, Senator. Mr. Arenas?
Yes, so thank you, Madam President, and fellow board members and students, and to our community. Just a couple quick items. First and foremost, I do want to extend our heartfelt thanks. Once again, you'll hear me say thank you to all the Pendergast community and the family members who supported our toy drive this year. Over 180 families is my understanding from the last conversation I had with Ms. Christopher last week, and where 180 families have been impacted and will be able to support in terms of toys, gifts, and resources. So I cannot say enough about Ms. Christopher's leadership, her efforts, and her support, along with Mr. Ramiro, who did a wonderful job in coordinating this. And certainly no particular order, but last but not least, Ms. Carrie Pohlmeyer. You know, it's all behind the scenes. There was a point in time where we were kind of falling behind in terms of numbers of Santa B tags that needed to get recovered, picked up, supported. And there's Carrie making some calls, and so I am just blessed, our family's blessed, and certainly I hope more than anything that our students and families are gonna be impacted by the toys and the support that we provided them. And to our school leadership, to our school leaders, and to respective staff members at our respective schools, I just can't say enough. So thank you. I enjoyed the retreat also, along with what Senator Quesada said. I do want to echo the remarks. Thank you, Dr. DeBlue, for the information, for the transparency. You've always continued to be proactively involved with and engaged. We were engaged, we were involved. A lot of information, great information. So thank you. Unfortunately, I did have to excuse myself a little early, and I heard there was a little surprise that a very special person in my life, and little Gabriel was highlighted. So I want to take him on a book signing tour in the next couple of weeks, so maybe you could support that. And I'm just going to sell his picture, $10, going to Grandpa's fund. No, but thank you very much. Last but not least, I do want to wish each and every one of you the best of this winter break. Students especially, I know you're tired. I know it's been a lot. This virtual learning, we've been doing this for 3 quarters already. It's getting old. We're tired. I know you're tired, but we do want to thank you very, very much, students and families, for being patient with us. And we'll get through this. God willing, we'll get through this. So be safe, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Arenas. Ms. Ortega-Rosales?
Thank you, Madam President. I too want to echo my peers' comments in regards to the retreat. It was excellent. There is a lot of work in front of us, but I'm confident that we will get through it because we have the leadership in place to make that happen. and obviously there's staff that work so hard to make sure our community is taken care of. I really enjoyed it and feel a little more confident about where we're going into the future during this virus and also into next year. I also want to thank all our community for their support and their belief in us. In particular, our staff and our students. I wish you the best. I want you to rejuvenate, rest, disconnect. It has been an incredibly long 10 months. You deserve to just let go so that you can come back ready to serve our community again. But do take the time, reconnect with your family. I know it's difficult. It's important because at the end of the day, we have found in these last 10 months that the most important element of our lives is our family, and we need to prioritize them. So please do take the time in the next 2 weeks to enjoy your family. I also wanted to share with you that I attended the National Association of Elected and Appointed Officials network mixer that was held last Thursday. All of us are members of that organization. It's a national organization that provides excellent professional development for elected officials. And I've attended some of their school board training, and it's excellent. But they also have opportunities for us to network during these professional development opportunities as well as conferences. And obviously with the pandemic, we weren't able to do that. They had a clever idea to have a mixer via Zoom and using a platform called Lunch Pool, where they assigned the participants who wanted to be part of this mixer to tables. And then you are able to jump from one table to another to visit with other elected officials, appointed officials throughout the country. I especially enjoyed networking with other school board members from everywhere from Indiana to Florida to Texas. And I will tell you that based on our conversations and our chats, our district is in very good shape in terms of what we're doing around this pandemic. And the safety of our community is number one. And I heard that loud and clear during this mixer, that these other school boards are also along that same path. And so we definitely should feel good about the decisions that we've made in the past around our safety. So thanks again. Wish you the best. Students on our council, thank you again for those great reports. We look forward to seeing you in next year in 2021.
Thank you, Ms. Ortega Rosales. Mr. White?
Thank you, Madam President. Yeah, and again, to echo my fellow board members, really enjoyed the retreat on Saturday and diving deep into some of the things that I really enjoy talking about. Also want to thank Dr. DeBlue for the book. My wife was especially excited. She had to return it because it's been in such high demand from the library that she never got to finish it. So she was very, very pleased to see it on our kitchen counter when she came home from work that day, but I look forward to reading it as well. Similar to what the student board members have mentioned, I attended the Title I meeting at Sonoran Sky virtually for Sonoran Sky, so it's good to not only have the overview and the deep dive at the district level that we went through on Saturday, but also to see kind of a more close-up view at a school site. And similar to what Alan said, Capit is a big hit at our house as well. I literally just got a text from Lauren's teachers that she's received her incentive for completing her level 1. So we'll go and grab that from the school on Friday. But Capit's a big hit in our house, and Skybrary too. And it's, again, the nostalgia is just hits me really hard to look over and see LeVar Burton still doing it, on the screen next to me. And so it just hits me in the feels too. So it's good. Much like other folks have said, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, happy Festivus, happy winter solstice, Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year. Hope that you take care of yourself and your family. And even with vaccines maybe rolling out and hopefully rolling out, continue just to wear a mask and stay home if you can. And hopefully we'll get to recharge and reconnect with our family like Ms. Ortega-Rosales mentioned over break as well. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. White. And let's see, last Thursday was a meeting for the 8th grade Student Superintendent Council, and we had 2 former students from Pendergast, Victor and Sabrina. They were also council members. They presented on leadership. It was a great presentation, and I want to thank them again for talking with the students. And then the Lunch and Learn was last Friday with some great presentations. We had a lot of good feedback on it. If you missed it, there is a recording you can watch. Again, I stress great information. Parents were amazed how much, is going on. We had some online learning tips, and also one of our parents presented on things that parents can do with their students. Again, as the other board members said, Saturday was the board retreat, and we did have some excellent presentations. I want to commend Dr. DeBlue, Dr. Cruz, Ms. Tessie, Ms. Fimbres, Ms. Shafir, and Mr. Polmeyer for the presentations. They were excellent. And Ms. Polmeyer, thank you for coordinating everything. You always do an amazing job. And everyone, I hope everyone has a great holiday season, and please stay safe. Next on our agenda is consent agenda items A through E. Can I have a motion to approve consent agenda items A through E?
So moved.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
A second.
I'll second it. Any discussion? Carrie, roll call.
Martin Quezada,
Yes.
Jose Arenas,
Yes.
Hilda Ortega-Rosales,
Yes.
Jet White,
Yes.
Susan Sarin.
Yes.
There being 5 in favor, the motion carries.
Thank you. Dr. DeBlue, are there any new hires or other announcements you'd like to make?
Yes, Madam President, members of the board, cabinet, and members of the community. We do have one new hire, Ramona Carilla Leiva. She will be working in the maintenance department. So thank you for joining our team, Ramona. We welcome you to Pendergast, a district that believes in you. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Next, we have a presentation from Dr. Cruz and the Ed Service team with a WestMet update. Dr. Cruz, you want to take it away?
Yeah, good evening, Madam President, esteemed board members, Dr. DeBlue, our student board members, cabinet, and our audience. If we haven't met, I'm Jen Cruz. I'm the Chief Academic Officer. And I realize that our student board members probably don't know what we do. So I'm responsible for the instruction that happens at the schools. I supervise the principals, and I get to work with all these really smart folks who help with teaching and learning and the assessments. Sorry about that. Sorry, not sorry about your assessments. And I get to do like the really cool, like forward facing stuff. So I'm in charge of all the fun stuff in the district. It's really great. And we're here this evening to talk about WestMech, which all of you student board members need to get involved in. So this is actually really important for you to pay attention. I'm going to share my screen, and Ms. Christopher is here to help me out with this evening. All right. Can you see that presentation?
Yes.
Great. So we've spoken about this in the past, and one of the things that we think is really important is to keep making connections to our work and also to the community. So as you know, we worked with the community in partnership to build this profile of a graduate. It's what's been centering our work, and certainly as we think about our work and the transition that our students make from our middle schools into high school, we want to be mindful of our profile of a graduate. We shared this with the WestMech board, and we've also shared this with the team at WestMech. We want them to be aware that these are the skills that we are having our students work towards, because we want to make sure that we are working in partnership with them. You can see these are the goals for our partnership. we've had some conversations about what really is the point of our work with WestMec, and we think it's really important to maintain that focus on the profile of a graduate, make sure that students really have an understanding of their career options. We know that our students can do anything as long as they know what their options are. So we want to work really hard to make sure that our students at a younger age know what their options are for career and technical, and also for obviously some of the different sciences and those pieces. We want to make sure that our students are working towards completion. There are quite a few opportunities for students to become, in the career and technical ed world, we call them completers, right? Those are students who have taken a full set of coursework and they've hopefully become certified. And so they leave school with a really unique skill set that leaves them positioned to really impact in a positive way the community, both through having a skill set, being a skilled employee, but also financially. So we know that, a great example of this is that you can take welding classes at WestMec and, end up being a certified welder if you do the completer certificate pieces of that, and you can end up making around $60,000 plus a year. And that's right out of high school. There are other amazing opportunities at WestMec, obviously in, the food services and culinary, hospitality industry. There are all kinds of opportunities where students can actually come out of those programs and end up right away ready for the workforce. And we want to make sure that students are aware of those opportunities because we really do think that it's a fantastic way forward for our kids. We're obviously trying to increase the project-based learning opportunities for our students because that's a major part of building leadership and making that connectivity to the academics and on into their transition in the real world. And then obviously we want to make sure that we're focused on our junior high school students participating in STEAM related learning. Again, having that connectivity to the real world and real tasks that are applicable help build that understanding of why we're doing the academic things that we're doing. And we're also hoping that it gets students interested in different STEAM and STEM career fields and will move them into WestMec opportunities in the future. So some of our current work, as you know, we've been working on maker spaces. We obviously had that phenomenal presentation from our chief science officers. Our partnership with WestMec also helps support our ASU Prep digital programming for students. In the past, it has helped us with our defined learning, project-based learning, some STEAM professional development for our middle school teachers, and also STEAM field trips, things like field trips for chief science officers, some of the different STEAM academies where students actually get to go out and experience, job sites, things like that. We're going to make sure that our students have opportunities to tour the WestMec facilities. We think it's really important for kids to have that experience. When you see it, it really knocks your socks off and you get excited about it. And again, it moves us towards that possibility thinking. When students know what's possible, they can create that vision for themselves and then move forward into that. So where we're headed is that we'd like to do some more focused professional development with the teaching faculty by creating some makerspace leads and then expanding that work. We want to make sure that students have voice and choice in the kinds of projects that we're doing. We're looking specifically to partner with an organization that will help us really bring the maker spaces to life. So there's technical support for the faculty, there's technical support for the devices. They'd actually be providing a lot more 3D printers, a lot more equipment. We want to make sure that every single student in the system has that experience. So this isn't something that you get to earn your way into. This is going to be how we do science. And it's going to be a shared experience for every student. We need to make sure that we've got that access for every child, and that's how we're going to be doing this. So you'll see that this summer, we're going to do some intensive professional development related to STEAM and the maker spaces. We're making sure that all those projects are aligned to the state standards in science, and obviously some of the other standards that we can incorporate in addition to the science standards. And we're really excited to see that progress. So we're doing a big setup this year for some work that we're going to be doing next year. And we're really excited at how that's going to turn out. we want to make sure that students understand that faster way forward. That's part of what WestMech is focused on. And so we want to make sure that our students understand the career and technical ed can be a faster way forward for them. And then obviously what we're going to be moving forward with the chief science officers is human-centered design. So, we've been having some conversations with students. What problems do you see? What challenges do you want to think through? But we haven't necessarily been naming it and centering it in human-centered design out of IDEO like Stanford University. But we're going to be really intentional about that. So we're looking forward to moving forward with more intentionality. Mrs. Christopher is going to talk to you a little bit about the budget proposal that we were discussing with the team at WestMech.
Madam President, esteemed members of the board, Dr. DeBalou, student board members and community, it's really exciting to talk to you tonight about our partnership with WestMech. We presented to them as a team in November, and part of what we wanted to share and what I'll share with you tonight is to echo what Dr. Cruz is stating. We wanted to make sure our proposal was grounded in that profile of a graduate. So it was very important during that meeting to share that information with the WestMech team, to invite them into that conversation, and deepen our partnership and that work with them. We reflected on what activities we funded in the past, what has been working for our students, and then looking, of course, you had that summary of what we're looking to do moving forward. Specifically, the budget, the funding that we receive as a result of the partnership is $140,000 within the WestMech fiscal year. So that's the reason I bring that up, is it's a little bit of creative braiding of funds and planning on our part, because we received that funding mid-year. I think approximately January is usually when we're used to having that funding come to us. So we're kind of bridging our fiscal years with theirs, which is a unique problem that actually supports us to be very creative. So we do a lot of braiding and being really specific to make sure support is continuous. So just to give you a quick summary, there's 6 project areas that you'll see that are included in the budget as we proposed it to WestMech, and that's project-based learning. There's STEAM program support, so being very intentional, as Dr. Cruz mentioned, with the materials and supplies. You might have heard of Defined Learning or Defined STEM, which is a tool our schools are using across all 12 schools that is funded as part of the WestMech grant, to give you an example. Our Makerspace program support is that 3rd area, making sure, again, we have funding to supply both the materials, but also the training that's needed. We need to make sure that our system understands what is a makerspace, how do we use it, making sure our junior high kiddos have access and will benefit from that. Our Chief Science Officer program, it's $400 per school site for them to participate in the program. So we utilize WestMech funds to support that, that fee annually. And then also a stipend for an advisor on site, a certified teacher to support that student to complete their project. We have found a couple of years ago, we did not have that support in place, and that has been critical to the success of our CSO program. And so knowing that as we evaluated our budget, or what has happened previously, we will continue that support with this new funding we'll receive. And then the last 2 items, ASU Digital Prep, we have other funding that supports bringing that content to the students who can participate in both algebra, geometry, and English. But WestMech supports us to have a person who essentially reaches out to the kids. We have an adult in our system, a certified staff member who provides ongoing support in those areas. And again, it's that relationship that makes these programs successful for our junior high students. And so WestMech really allows us to bring in the adults in the system in a very intentional way to make sure that our students are successful. And then the last area out of the 6 that the budget supports is our Arizona School Counselors Association attendance by our site counselors. They participate in that conference annually, and it does include an emphasis on career-related activities for junior high students, and that's how it pertains to WestMech. I think that is a quick summary of those activities that are included in the budget. We are very excited to have the funding continue. It increased a little bit, which makes us happy as well. So it just shows they know that what we produce is of value and that our partnership is deepening. So if you have any questions for Dr. Cruz or I related to the budget proposal or any of the activities we shared with you tonight.
Are there any questions?
Madam President?
Yes, go ahead, Hilda.
I do have a question, and I'm imagining that both Dr. Cruz and Ms. Christopher could answer it. This funding source has been in place for many years. I would imagine, if my memory serves me right, at least 12 years, if not more. And the funding has grown throughout those years, and it's given us an opportunity to enrich the services that we provide from this funding source. And it's good to remind our community that this exists because 12 years ago, if not longer, our community voted on this initiative. And so the funding comes from our tax base. Not so much a grant, but as funding through our tax base, just like we have overrides and capital funding. And so when we are able to have high quality programs such as this, that we can continue to show our community that their taxes are truly at work, it continues to reinforce the support that our community gives us so that we can fund programs like this, since we don't have the significant amount of money that we need from our state revenue to make this happen. So we thank our community for that.
Thank you. Other questions or comments? Mr. White?
Thank you, Madam President. Yeah, so I just want to take a second. Thank you for the presentation. I always appreciate Dr. Cruz and Ms. Christopher, how you can take kind of these scary, overarching, huge projects or thoughts that we're doing and condense them down into really, really exciting presentations. Actually, like, I'm fired up about this. I love seeing the human-centered design aspect. I think that back in my day, we had the scientific method, right? And it's like, you make a hypothesis and you kind of like see if it works, and either it does or it doesn't, and then you write about it and figure out why, versus, interviewing your clients, right? And the communication skills that exist there. And what is the problem, like you mentioned, and how can we do that? And there's a great video, if folks haven't seen it, about a shopping cart that was developed in this manner. So if you look up human-centered design shopping cart, they go through the whole process, and it's really, really cool about changing that. And I guess the other comment I would just make is, like, and there were some big feelings happening at the beginning of your presentation, so I apologize for having to step out for a second. But just the kind of being able, and I don't mean this in a negative way, of being able to dip a toe in the water for our students, right, before they get to high school, before they get to the CTE, because like you mentioned with completers, and once you get in a pipeline, I taught a CTE class last year, and it's like, man, the paperwork and the tracking and the recruiting that exists in those programs is just insane. And if you're paying your student loans, that's where a lot of that money ends up. So it's just a great partnership and supplement, I don't know, one way or the other, right on top of what we're doing with our academy stuff, and just being able to have a good handoff, I think, to higher ed. Like, we ended 8th grade, but also knowing that we have a responsibility to help inspire our students beyond that. And so I'm really excited to see this partnership continue.
Thank you. Other questions? Anyone else? Dr. Cruz, I do have just one little question on the STEAM field trips you want, our students to take. What are we doing during this period of COVID? Are they virtual trips? Have we done anything like that?
Madam President, thanks for asking about that. We do have some schools that are doing some virtual field trips. We've had some virtual college tours. I think that we're going to continue to have some virtual guests come in to our schools that way. We are going to be working, honestly, we're hopeful that we're going to be able to get our students to Westmec. So that's still our plan, is that our students will be able to physically go see those facilities before our year is out. But if that's not a possibility for us to go see them in a timely way, it has to work for their instructional calendar as well, then we will flip those and we'll make them be virtual, because we do want the students to see those opportunities and get excited. We want our students to have a really strong freshman year, because we want them to have a whole wide world of possibilities open to them their sophomore year for the different CTE options. We'd also like them to be thinking about which high school is going to be the best choice for them. So I think it's really important for them to hear about the different high schools. And as the high school registration has been happening, some of our high schools have been doing virtual tours as well. It kind of depends on the high school and the principal and how they decided to present their school to our students. But a number of our students are getting to have those virtual tours of high schools as well.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much. And Dr. Cruz and Ms. Christopher, thank you for the presentation. Great presentation. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Madam President,
Yes.
I got so excited about the great program that we're having that I didn't ask my question of Dr. Cruz and Ms. Christopher. And nothing for you to do now. I'm imagining that it's a question that you may have to research, but do you know how much we've grown, say, in the last 10 years in terms of the funding?
We'll have to look that up for you to make sure that we give you accurate numbers.
Okay, and the reason I'm asking that question is so that we can see, what opportunities we have as we move along, if that trend continues, and how much more I'm sure you have some other great ideas that you would love to have for funding and how that can work. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And Ms. Pohlmeyer reminded me, with the 8th grade superintendent council, we've already had virtual tours of MIT and AAEC. This Thursday, we're having one for Tolleson. So our 8th grade superintendent council is seeing the different avenues that are open to them. So that's a great opportunity for them. Again, Dr. Cruz, Ms. Christopher, thank you for a great presentation. And then, are there any items anyone would like to see added to a future board agenda? Anyone? Okay, there being none, the next board meeting will be Tuesday, January 12th, 2021, right here on Zoom and Facebook Live. And I want to wish everyone a happy holiday season. I'm so grateful to our wonderful staff, our amazing students, our parents, community, and our business partners. All of you have worked together to make the Pendergast District #1. You really have. We thank you for your support. My wish for all of you is that you have a happy holiday season, and may 2021 be a much better year for all of us. Please, everyone, stay safe, and we'll see you next year. Can I have a motion to adjourn the regular board meeting?
I'll move.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Senator Quezada seconded. Carrie, roll call.
Martin Quezada,
Yes.
Jose Arenas,
Yes.
Hilda Ortega Rosales,
Yes.
Jet White,
Yes.
Susan Sarin.
Yes.
There being 5 in favor, the motion carries.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Merry Christmas.
Tonight. Have a great holiday season. Good night, everyone.
Enjoy. Stay warm.
Bye.
Stay
Happy
warm,
holidays.
everybody.
Happy New Year.
Bye-bye.
Bye.